What's up, s'mores? I'm Shannon Morse. Welcome to my YouTube channel all about travel and technology, and I'm pretty sure I am in the fanciest room in the entirety of Vegas right now.
That's an accident.
We social engineered our way in.
That's right.
Just kidding. This is Myriam, aka
Hello.
Tank Girl. She does Mobile Tech Podcast, which is an awesome podcast. You should absolutely subscribe. So excited to film our own show. I will be a guest on her podcast as well. I asked her to come on the show today because she knows everything there is to know about smartphones, especially like Android, everything that's coming out. You are on it.
Yeah, you know, mobile is the thing we cover on the show, and it's funny because we...
Hence the name.
Yeah, but it's funny because it's so much more than that. Like, we try to do anything that's in the mobile ecosystem, you know?
Yeah.
Like accessories, laptops, tablets, headphones, earbuds.
Totally.
Anything to me that has some connectivity aspect to it. Like, if it's just a dumb phone case, I'm not going to be super excited. But
No, you don't want to see another phone case?
No. But at the same time, I also joke and say that the show is about mobile technology you can get into as well. So like vehicles, transportation.
I like
because our getting around is becoming very important for a lot of people, much more than it was a decade ago. And we have such great means to doing that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they all involve technology now. Like, you call a Lyft, or you have a car that has an app to start it remotely, and whatever else, right?
So we have seen a lot of pretty awesome tech so far, just in the first 2 days of CES, the press days. So I wanted to get kind of your hot take on what we've seen so far. I want to start with TCL, since they're introducing something to the American market that they've never done before.
Yeah, so this is a big deal. TCL is a TV company that's taking the Best Buys of the world by storm. If you talk to anyone in the TV business right now, they're like one of the top brands in the US, and they've kind of come out of nowhere. They're a Chinese-based company.
They have a huge market in America. It's pretty crazy.
And they're trying to get that market expanded to Canada and Mexico now. But the bottom line is TCL is really a big company that has a lot of resources. And a few years back, they acquired Alcatel, which is a French cell phone company.
That's right.
Back in the early days of cell phones, and before there were smartphones in the 90s, it was Alcatel, a French company, was a big player, along with companies that have completely disappeared from the phone world, like Siemens, Ericsson, and then eventually Sony and Ericsson partnership, into Sony Ericsson, and then Nokia, which is now back, reborn as a different company. And in those days, Alcatel was a thing. Yeah. And Alcatel kind of faded away and got bought by TCL. And the other company that TCL bought was BlackBerry. The phone part, the hardware part, because BlackBerry still exists as a company that's security software, right? Yeah. And like automotive stuff. But the phones, if you buy a BlackBerry Key 1 or Key 2, which is the last two phones they came out with, which have a hardware keyboard, they're really great Android phones, by the way. They're a little long in the tooth now because they haven't come out with a new one in 2019. Yeah. They seem to have put things on pause. But TCL, until IFA, was known as a company that makes TVs and has a subsidiary, Alcatel, that makes together with BlackBerry that make phones. Yeah. And this all changed at IFA with the Alcatel Plex. Sorry, I said it wrong. The TCL Plex. Yeah, I'm still calling them Alcatel on their TCL phone. TCL Plex, and then this CES they announced 3 new phones: the TCL 10 Lite, 10 Pro, and 10 5G. Yay! Now, I'm not 100% sure they committed to these coming to the US, but I think we're going to see them in the US. Probably unlocked, in small quantities. I don't think it's going to be a big deal.
Kind of like OnePlus.
I'd be surprised if we see them in carriers. Yeah. That's a big thing to get to. OnePlus has succeeded in doing that, though, with the OnePlus starting with the 6T last year.
Right, that's true.
So you never know.
I think something was really interesting with the TCL phones. One, that they're introducing a 5G one. Yeah. And they also said that all 3 of those versions are going to be sub $500.
Yeah, and that's not impossible. I mean,
it's not.
Like Xiaomi, which is a Chinese phone company that is not obviously known in the US, but it's quite popular in India and Europe. and extremely popular in China. They were one of the first over a year ago to announce at the time the Mi Mix 3 5G, which was a sub $500 5G phone before the current set of 5G chips that Qualcomm just announced in Hawaii that are going to be gracing this new TCL product, the 765G.
So nice.
So with that chip, the economies of scale like crank up a notch, right? It's going to be cheaper in terms of chip parts. So if Xiaomi can do with the old chip a 500, I think it sounded good, but to me it's not that surprising that you can make a 5G phone that's $500.
So we obviously don't have a lot of the specs about the TCL phones. They just introduced them and said like, oh, you're going to see more at IFA, which happens in a few months. Or MWC, right? Yeah. Which is in February?
Yeah, late February.
Late February, okay. Yeah, and that's in
Barcelona.
Barcelona, yes. Thank you. I haven't been to that one yet.
You have to understand, it's like 11 o'clock at night.
It totally is.
The end of our
third... I have my beer over here.
It's the end of our third day. I had a beer earlier, but this is Perrier now. This is the end of our third day. We're a little tired.
So we don't have a lot of specs about that. Specs. We'll hear more in the coming months. And
quad camera on all of them.
Yeah, several cameras on all of them. They have really, really nice backs. Very pretty. Like I love the opalescent white one. That was my favorite.
That was good.
So pretty. Yeah. And they also had a foldable that they just showed on screen that's supposed to be like a concept device.
So I got to play with that one.
Wait, you did?
Yes. I have a video on my channel, the Mobile Tech Podcast channel on YouTube, if you go there.
May I share it?
Absolutely. Feel free to grab some the video. I can give you the original content.
Okay, cool.
You can cut in. You'll have permission. Because it's, so I have to be very clear that I was able to touch it, but I wasn't able to physically open it.
Okay.
So the lovely PR person from TCL, Alcatel, Brad, let me touch it briefly. But he did, in the video, it's mostly his hands.
Oh, okay.
Right? So it's still a hands-on because I touched it.
Yes.
But so this is actually a concept that they initially showed behind glass at Mobile Congress 2019, so February last year. And then it looked a lot like the general shape and size. Basically, it's the size of a passport and thicker. And that general form factor was there at MWC.
Okay.
But that weird crystal, like edged diamond cut thing did not exist yet. And so they made it prettier with that crazy green color too.
Okay.
And there was a phone called the HTC. Oh, I can't remember now. I'm completely blanking. There was an HTC phone way before Android, like just in the early days of smartphones.
Oh man, I was way too young to remember.
There was a plastic back cover, but it had that faceted thing. They stole that literally from HTC.
For real? Oh,
yeah, from
shoot.
10, 11, 12 years ago. And so that's actually funny. I'm going to look up right now really quickly on my Twitter because there was a whole discussion on Twitter about that. The Touch Diamond, HTC Touch Diamond.
Okay.
So the early days of touchscreen based phones when they're still dumb phones. Although the Touch Diamond, I'm pretty sure ran Windows Mobile, which was a smartphone OS.
Oh, gosh,
anyway,
so cool.
We digress. We
digress.
Tangents that could happen.
I did want to touch on another company, but right before I do that, I also wanted to thank my sponsor for CES, which is Lenovo. Lenovo is here at CES 2020 showing off their newest line of consumer products. Lenovo has a vision of bringing smarter technology to people and businesses around the world, and they are doing that by creating new technologies that will build a better digital society, one that is built on inclusivity, trustworthiness, and sustainability. Now, by building out a comprehensive portfolio of smart devices and infrastructure, Lenovo is leading a path towards that vision of smarter technology for all. Check out everything Lenovo is doing to bring this vision to life by visiting Lenovo.com and visit Lenovo.com/CES to learn more about all of their newest products and announcements. And I want to thank Lenovo so much for sponsoring my channel during Consumer Electronics Show 2020. So I also wanted to ask you about your hot take on the Lenovo X1 Fold, which I did do a full video about on my YouTube channel, but I'm sure that you probably have some thoughts outside of that as well.
Yeah, I mean, my first thought was, oh yeah, of course, a folding PC, right? Like,
I feel like that's going to be the thing this year. Is everybody has a folding PC?
Well, so Lenovo gave us a preview, right?
They
a
did,
while back.
yes.
I wasn't there for that. I did not touch it then. I heard about it. I saw everybody's content.
It does look. I will say, compared to what I saw then and what I've seen now, it looks way, way better.
Right.
Much better
It definitely looked very prototypey in the videos I saw.
Yeah.
But so I wasn't surprised when they put that in front of me, but I wasn't expecting it. Like, I had received some of the news on embargo, but not all of it. So I didn't know what, I went to this briefing and I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
I knew about the 5G laptop with Qualcomm chip because I covered that at Computex.
Yeah.
But I wasn't quite sure. And so when they put that in front of me, I was like, I see what you did there. A folding PC, huh? Well, so clever. You're jumping on the folding bandwagon. And then I opened it and I was like, oh crap, this is done right.
Yeah, I know,
this
right?
This is Lenovo, they're not
too.
messing around. And until at least halfway through my time playing with it, I thought it was a yoga product. It didn't occur, even though the industrial design is so obviously ThinkPad, it hadn't occurred to me that I was like, this is a ThinkPad. So I said, so what's the name, right? And they said, oh, that's called the ThinkPad X1 Fold. And I was like, oh, of course, it makes sense. My impressions were very good in terms of the hardware.
Yeah.
I love the concept. I like how they got away with it not folding flat by basically having the keyboard as an accessory.
Yeah.
You know, in a way that kind of
really
mitigates
cool.
it really nicely.
And it wirelessly charges when you stick it inside.
And I love that you can have it like a mini laptop with either the mechanical keyboard or the on-screen keyboard or just a pen, or you can unfold it and
lots of options.
Has a kickstand so you can turn it into a real little 13.3 inch computer.
Yeah.
And it has a really nice OLED display made by LG.
It is a very nice display.
You know, they talked to me about like the backing of the hinge with the stainless steel and the carbon fiber and stuff that keeps things really rigid underneath, so that they design it so that you can't poke through the screen and damage the display.
Yay!
And so, if you're looking at this video right now, going, "What are they talking about?" Like the Galaxy Fold.
We have video.
The Galaxy Fold is the only real folding product we've had, and it was a bit of a disaster, the launch of it, because the first batch within 10 days, or within a few days actually, or maybe 10 hours.
Some people had like dust issues.
Yeah, they had all kinds of durability issues with it, the reporters, the reviewers, people like us.
So it automatically gave folding displays like a bad name.
And so bad that Samsung recalled them, took them away from the media, and then 3 months later relaunched the product.
Yeah.
And they improved it, but it still feels like a very fragile product. Now, the Galaxy Fold is a smartphone that basically unfolds into a tablet. We're not this is scaled much bigger. It's more like a little notebooks like this one, maybe a bit bigger than that unfolds into a laptop that's 13 inches, or a tablet that's 13 inches.
It's almost like the size of a Kindle if you took that in two and folded them next to each other.
Yeah, and then it turns into basically the display part of a 13-inch laptop.
Yeah.
And what struck me, this is the thing that struck me the most about it, is how rugged and solid this thing feels. I feel like I can drop this thing on carpet and nothing's going to happen to it, no matter how folded it is at the time. And that is very reassuring. It's obviously what we expect from a ThinkPad product. Mm-hmm. It's made of carbon fiber. It's a $2,500 product, so you're going to pay for that, for that R&D investment, and of course for it being somewhat. You would expect that ThinkPad at Lenovo would make something that's durable.
Yeah.
So that was, to me, that's what impressed me. The software needs some work. I know it's going to run a new version of Windows that's optimized for this kind of dual display or continuous display folding thing. But with Windows 10, it was a little rough around the edges.
So lastly, I also wanted to touch just a little bit on TVs, because there's a couple of brands that I didn't get to see because I didn't get to go to any of their press events, but Samsung, I know they introduced some interesting new things.
Yeah, so I have to look up the details, so don't quote me on the exact numbers I'm going to give you. But
nobody can memorize all the specs, by the way.
But so Samsung made an 8K TV. 8K is really the thing here at CES this year. They're really pushing it hard. Everybody has an 8K TV or 205. And it's to be expected. Of course, there's no 8K content, so they all have like 8K. They have upscaling features.
Yeah.
I think it was Samsung or was it LG that had a AI-based upscaling where it analyzes the picture in real time and decides how to upscale it based on the content. So it identifies trees and faces and and background and sky and water, and it knows what to do frame by frame, and it just does the right scale. It's insane. The processing power is amazing. So that's not what I'm getting to though here. Is the Samsung 8K TV they showed, the one, I don't know what it's called, I can't remember, but it's a large 8K TV that has a and again, I'm not sure of the exact number, but I think it's 2.3 millimeter bezel.
That's ridiculous.
And so to give you some perspective, that's like a pencil's or like a ball pen tip and like or two ball pen tips in width, right? It's tiny. And so on a screen that's like 65, 75 inches, what that means is that when you're looking at it from like a normal 6 foot, 8 foot, 10 foot seating position, you can't see the bezel. You just see an image floating in thin air.
So clean.
And to make it even more impressive, this is a QLED display, so quantum dot LCD technology with local zone backlighting. And they made it, I think, something like 2 centimeters thick. So OLEDs are usually that thin,
how did
right?
they do that?
Probably because they have a large surface area. They were able to distribute all the electronics in that surface area. And the panel itself is only probably about 5 millimeters.
Yeah.
And then there's the LED backlight, another 5 millimeters. Now you have a centimeter to put the electronics in.
Okay, so when are we going to see like small monitors with that technology built in?
I think it's going to be a little while first.
Yeah, it'll be a few years.
But speaking of small monitors, LG has brought us a 4K, but 48-inch OLED with a fast response time, so you can do gaming on it. So it's a monitor that's like this big, maybe like not 30 is about this, so like 48.
That's not
It's not huge. It's like it's for an OLED. It's very small. It's really difficult to make OLED panels that are that big with pixels that small.
Yeah.
So obviously, all the love that you have for OLED, in case you don't know, really. OLED's the way to go. OLED, you sacrifice on brightness,
I'm
but
sad because I don't have an OLED TV at home right now.
You win in every other way.
I have a very dumb TV from like 2010.
So OLED is the way to go. So that's exciting that LG made the world's smallest 4K OLED. But lots of 8K everywhere, a large and small, and crazy upscaling technologies with super thin bezels. TCL, I was at the TCL press conference, they showed that they're working on mini LED backlighting.
Yes.
So instead of like
really
200 backlight LEDs, they now we're talking about 500, 600, 1,000 backlight LEDs. Nice. So you're literally getting kind of like a subset of the pixels back there in terms of backlighting, which is kind of crazy.
So what's your feeling about CES so far?
Nothing stands out as wow to me, really. Like last year, I remember I felt very jaded going into it, and a few things surprised me. And by the press night, I felt like, wow, there's a few things that stand out. I'm still waiting for the thing right now. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot going on. 8K TVs are cool. I'm happy to see, but it's very incremental, very much just kind of like normal innovation pace.
Yeah.
Those phones from TCL, awesome. But are they super innovative? No. Mm-hmm. I mean, OnePlus makes fantastic phones at $500.
They do.
I wouldn't be surprised if the new phones that they make this year are 5G for $500. So that's not going to be too crazy.
Yeah.
But competition is healthy, and in the US, we need more unlocked phones, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Cool.
The folding stuff is really exciting. Honestly, so far for me, I know this is not to suck up to your sponsor, but I think the Lenovo X1 Fold. ThinkPad X1 Fold. I was going to call it the Carbon X1 Fold, but it's not.
X1 Carbon is one of my favorite laptops.
X1 Carbon is great. It's really impressive to me because it shows that we can make a folding device with a folding display that can withstand being drop-kicked or whatever the expression is.
Now I want to see somebody actually
like a normal
test it.
ThinkPad. Like ThinkPads are known for that. Like you can beat the crap out of them, and that's why people buy them. They're not Panasonic tough books, but
let me know when you buy one for $2,500 and you drop kick it.
I will get Lenovo to send me one and accidentally drop kick it.
Oh my gosh.
Not on tile though. I'd be dropping it on carpet. Like I don't want to physically
She's lying,
damage.
sponsor. She's not really.
Well,
no, we're not going to do
if
that.
If I don't do it, Zach at Jerry everything's going to do it.
Oh my gosh,
right?
it's so true.
So I might as well get the viral page views on my YouTube channel.
Myriam, thank you for being on.
You should do it.
I'm not gonna do that.
Viral video 9,000. Like you'll just be.
Oh my gosh, I'm so good with my technology. I never break anything.
I can't. I think I'm incapable of purposely breaking.
You have
technology.
a 5-year-old laptop over here.
I have accidentally dropped phones, and I have proof that I've cried because of it.
Oh,
it makes me cry to damage technology.
Yeah,
so
me
sad.
too. It always breaks my heart if I damage something.
Especially when like I just got it and I haven't taken photos or video yet, and it's scuffed up, and I'm like,
gosh, that hurt. It hurts.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
Go check me out at Mobile Tech Podcast. That's .com. So just Mobile Tech Podcast, one word.com. That's the URL for the podcast. There's an RSS feed there if you're old school and you know what I'm talking about. But otherwise, go to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Spotify. Look for Mobile Tech Podcast, or if that doesn't pop up right away, because there's a bunch of keywords that hit that. Look for Tankerl, my handle, which I'm going to give you right now.
I'll put that in the lower third.
It's TNKGRL, like the comic book character, but without the vowels. So that's also my Twitter and Instagram handle. So if you want to chat about the podcast, do it on Twitter. If you want to see pretty photos of phones and taken with phones, go on my Instagram at Tankerl. And then the podcast is at Mobile Tech Podcast. And please, if you get a chance to rate the podcast, whatever platform, if it supports rating or reviews, please do that. Yeah. And then YouTube channel, Mobile Tech Podcast on YouTube. Just go, search on YouTube for it. Lots of video content that's like hands-ons and unboxings and things. Any device I talk about on the show that I get to play with, I generally show it visually on the YouTube channel.
Awesome.
So check it out.
So I will put all 500 of her links down in the description.
I'm not making it easy for you.
Thank you for being on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And for everybody out there, make sure to stick around, subscribe, like, don't forget to hit that little bell notification icon. She was making fun of me because I say that in my shows.
No, I say it too.
Oh, you do? Okay, good. We both do. Comment below if you have any questions for Myriam, or if you have any questions for me about what we've seen so far. Other than that, I think we're done here. Make sure to check out my previous video about the X1 Fold. That will be going out with a ton of video as well. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you on the next one coming out shortly. Bye.
Bye.